Hello, we are going to talk about why your view of progress needs to change and in what ways does it need to change. So there's two reasons we need to focus on seeing our personal progress differently right now. One, you're only on week 4 of your journey. What, Heather? Only week 4? But no, I've been doing this for a lot longer. I've been focusing on my weight and my health goals now for 18 months. No, you haven't. Because when all of this happened, when the pandemic thing went down and they asked you to go home, they asked your kids to go home, everything shut down, the world you knew ceased to exist. The reality you lived in ceases to exist. This is a major mind shift here. You've got to see this as you're starting over. It's as if your life was this this card display, and somebody came along and just chucked the cards all over the ground. Now you got a beautiful clean table. You are starting from scratch. Hence why I've been pushing the whole scheduling thing so hard with you, because everything you knew, the schedule you lived by, no matter how well defined it was your reality. Okay, so your reality has started over. We're only on week 4. We're all collectively only on week 4 of our journey right now. And that is the journey in the current pandemic self-quarantining situation, which changes a lot of things. It changes how you deal with stress. It deals how you communicate with people. It changes how you do your job. It changes your relationship with your children. Like, there's so many changes that have occurred. You must give yourself a chance to catch up and to adjust to this new normal. Hence why we're establishing these changes, right? So that's one reason progression needs to change, because the reality you knew, it's almost as if I took you to another planet and dropped you off and said, now you need to reestablish yourself. Okay. So that's number one. The second thing is progress is not linear. And what I mean by that, I just explained this to one of my coaching clients yesterday. When they make one small improvement, I explain it like this. Most people in the West view progress as a line. So I start out with having problem A, and I know that the line might jump up and down a little bit, but generally speaking, I think it's going to be a straight progression to point B, which is me being quote unquote fixed, better, the problem is solved. But in the East, they view things totally differently, and I really appreciate this model. It's a revolution. So the problem is in the center. There is no point B to get to, and you are constantly revolving around the problem. And what we're looking for, picture a lighthouse with me, okay? Picture it in your head. You can see the staircase winding up. When you're thinking about improvement or progression with this model, you would be, every time you do one thing better than the day before, you're taking a revolution up the lighthouse. You're trying to ultimately get to the top, right? But every time you make a better choice, you're revolving up, as opposed to the West, which is I'm at point A and I expect to get to point B. I expect there to be a line to follow. There's no line. You're going to continue to revolve around these problems in all different situations at different points in your life. And what you're looking for is, every time I revolve around it, am I making a better choice? Here's a real life example. Client had trouble emotionally eating. She didn't contact me. She let this go on all weekend, and we talked about it. We talked about her mindset. We talked about the things to work on. The next week, she actually contacted me. She still emotionally ate. She still had some issues, but she reached out. That was one revolution around the lighthouse. She made one point of improvement. What was the point of improvement? Contacting someone, not sitting on it all by herself for days on end, feeling cruddy and not discussing it with anyone. The next revolution for her might be journaling and contacting me, right? Like, every time we make a point of improvement, that's one trip around the lighthouse. It's one trip moving up, okay? That's where we want to put our focus. One, you're in a new reality. You're only 4 weeks into your journey. 2, you're not going to make linear progression from point A to point B on a line. You're going to be slowly revolving up into the lighthouse to reach the top. But you're really never going to reach the top, because because there's always going to be something else. You're just always going to be further along in your progression. So when you're struggling with this idea of, Heather, I feel like I'm not making progress, I want you to replay this video over and over and over again and hear me define for you what progress looks like. Human behavior change is very slow to alter. You must work at it continuously. And under the current situation, because our table has been stripped bare, not only are we trying to make progress, but we're kind of trying to redevelop our new normal. We're trying to create a new life in this current situation. So you must give yourself grace. You must give yourself compassion. You're asking somebody who has been dumped off on a new planet to not only pitch their tent and learn how to set the fire and learn how to make all this work, but you're also expecting them to hold up to the old standards that they absolutely are not going to hold to. You've got to realize you're going to need time to adjust in this new current situation. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.